Life storms don't just test us, they transform us. But what if the secret to thriving isn't avoiding the rain, but dancing in it? Discover how to stay unbreakable when everything breaks, from real failures to triumphant comebacks. Ready to see the rainbow first? Ladies and gentlemen, life is like the weather. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it rains, and sometimes there's a storm so strong you feel you might be blown away. We all want the sunshine, but the truth is, the storms are the ones that teach us the most. When life gets tough, most people start to complain, give up, or blame others. But I want you to remember something. Your attitude in bad times decides your altitude in good times. Right? And today I'm going to share with you how to stay positive when life feels impossible. Not from a textbook, but from real experiences, failures, and hard lessons. Because in my journey, I learned that the people who keep smiling in the storm are the ones who see the rainbow first. When tough times come, the very first mistake most people make is to fight with reality. Something bad happens. Maybe you lose a job, a deal falls apart, your plan completely fails, and the mind says this shouldn't have happened. We waste days, weeks, even months arguing with what already is. But the truth is, no matter how much you complain, the situation will not change simply because you don't like it. Think about the weather. If it's raining outside, you can be angry at the clouds. You can shout at the sky. You can wish for the sun. But the rain will not stop just because of your emotions. The only thing that changes is your mood. This is why the first step to staying positive is to simply accept that the rain has come. Only when you stop denying it, you can decide whether to carry an umbrella, stay indoors, or dance in it. Now, why are you laughing if you didn't understand that? I didn't understand that. When we refuse to accept reality, we're like a swimmer fighting against a strong current. We waste all our energy trying to push against what's already moving. Eventually, we feel exhausted, hopeless, and lost. But when we accept the current, we stop fighting the water and start looking for ways to swim with it or around it. Many people think acceptance means giving up. It doesn't. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is the courage to look at the truth directly in the eye and say, yes, this is where I am right now. It's only after that moment that the brain can start thinking clearly and looking for solutions. If you pretend the problem doesn't exist or keep saying this is not fair, you are spending your time in a dream world while reality keeps moving forward without you. When you accept reality, something powerful happens. Your emotions calm down. It's like finally putting down a heavy bag you've been carrying for hours. The problem is still there, but your mind is lighter. And with a lighter mind, you can think of better answers. Imagine you are a business owner and the market suddenly changes, making your old strategy useless. You can spend months blaming the economy, the government, or your competitors, or you can take one deep breath, accept that the market has changed, and start planning your next move. This doesn't mean you need to like the situation. Nobody likes losing money, failing in a project, or going through personal pain. Acceptance is not about enjoyment. It's about acknowledgement. It's saying, this is the reality. Now, what can I do? When you skip this step, every action you take will be based on an illusion. And illusions lead to more disappointment. In life, you cannot control everything. You cannot control when the economy slows down, when someone leaves you, or when unexpected challenges arrive. But you can always control how quickly you stop resisting reality and start working with it. The faster you do that, the more energy you have for actual solutions. There's a saying, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The pain comes from the event itself, the loss, the mistake, the failure. The suffering comes from refusing to accept that it happened. The moment you accept it, the suffering starts to fade and you create space for action, creativity, and new opportunities. When I look back at many of the turning points in life, they didn't come from moments when everything was going perfectly. They came right after moments of loss, disappointment, and sudden change. And those moments only turned into growth because reality was accepted quickly instead of being fought against for too long. Most people run away from problems the moment they appear. They see a problem as a wall blocking their path, something that stops them from moving forward. But the truth is, every problem is also a door. And sometimes the most valuable door you will ever find is hidden inside the wall you fear. The issue is that when we are in pain, stress, or fear, we only focus on the wall, not the hidden door. Think about some of the biggest companies in the world. Almost every single one started because someone noticed a problem and decided to solve it. A slow postal system led to courier companies. Difficulty in finding products in small towns led to e-commerce. Problems are not just inconveniences. They are the seeds of solutions that can change lives. If you can train your eyes to look for the opportunity inside the difficulty, you will see possibilities where others only see dead ends. When the market is good, everyone is comfortable. But when the market crashes, that's when the real thinkers rise. Why? Because a bad market is full of problems that need urgent solutions. While some people are complaining, others are building. The difference is not the size of the problem, it's the size of vision you choose to bring to it. Imagine you are a farmer and suddenly a heavy storm destroys half your crops. You can sit in sadness and count your losses, or you can ask, what can I do with what's left? Maybe you plant faster growing crops for the season. Maybe you use the time to repair your tools. Maybe you find new ways to store and sell what remains. The situation is the same, but the mindset changes everything. When you see a problem, it's natural to feel upset at first. That's human. But the key is not to stay in that emotional state for too long. The faster you switch from frustration to curiosity, the faster you start creating something valuable. Ask yourself, what is this problem teaching me? What skill will I learn from solving it? Who will I become in the process? Sometimes the opportunity is not money or fame. It's personal growth, resilience, and wisdom you can't get any other way. It's also important to remember that opportunities are often invisible to the majority. If a problem is easy to solve, it's probably already been solved by someone else. The opportunities that change lives are usually hidden in problems that are so big and so complex that most people don't even want to touch them. This is where the advantage comes in. If you are willing to take on what others avoid, you will naturally have less competition and more space to innovate. Problems also have the power to bring people together. When a team faces a challenge, the process of solving it strengthens trust, creativity, and communication. History is full of examples where communities became stronger after a shared difficulty. In fact, without a problem to unite around, many great partnerships would never have formed. There's another hidden benefit. Problems force you to think differently, that push you out of your comfort zone, make you question old methods, and open your eyes to possibilities you'd never considered before. A comfortable life rarely forces innovation. A challenging life almost always does. And this is why, in the long run, the people who faced more problems often end up stronger, wiser, and more resourceful than those who didn't. And one of the fastest ways to lose your energy, motivation, and happiness is to spend your days thinking about things you have no control over. People waste hours worrying about the economy, the weather, global politics, or what other people think about them. These are things you can't directly change. The more time you spend on them, the more powerless you feel. The truth is, the only things you truly control are your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Everything else is outside your direct reach. It's like being in a boat in the middle of the ocean. You cannot control the wind, you cannot control the waves, but you can control how you adjust your sails and how you steer the boat. If you keep shouting at the waves, you're wasting energy that could be used to guide yourself towards safer waters. Many people confuse awareness with control. Yes, you should be aware of the bigger picture. It's smart to know what's happening around you. But awareness is not the same as obsession. Obsession with the uncontrollable drains you. Awareness of it prepares you. The difference is in where you place your effort afterward. When life gets tough, the mind naturally looks for someone or something to blame. The boss who didn't understand, the customer who didn't buy, the friend who didn't support you. But the moment you shift your focus from blame to action, you take your power back. The question changes from why did this happen to me to what can I do right now to make it better? That single shift can turn frustration into progress. Think about any successful person you admire. You will notice one common trait. They don't waste time on things beyond their influence. If sales drop, they focus on improving products. If a competitor grows stronger, they focus on making their own team smarter. If the economy slows down, they find new ways to serve customers better. This ability to redirect energy is what separates those who keep moving from those who stay stuck. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you water grows. If you keep watering fear, anger, and complaints about things you cannot change, those weeds will take over. If you water action, learning, and problem solving within your control, the garden will bloom. Even if the weather outside is bad, the soil you have is your time and energy. The seeds you choose are your daily focus. And sometimes focusing on what you can control means taking very small steps. You might not be able to fix your whole financial situation in one day, but you can control how much you spend today, how much you learn about money this week, and how you improve your skills this month. These small actions build momentum. Over time, momentum creates change. It's also about emotional control. You can't stop people from saying hurtful things, but you can choose whether to carry their words in your heart or let them pass through like the wind. You can't stop challenges from coming, but you can decide whether to meet them with fear or with curiosity. Every situation offers a choice between reaction and response, and that choice is always yours. When you put your attention on what you can control, you create a circle of influence around you. This circle slowly expands as your actions produce results. The more results you create, the more control you naturally gain over your environment. But it always starts small, with your own decisions, your own effort, and your own discipline. Failure is something most people fear, but it is also the most honest teacher you will ever meet. Success can make you feel comfortable, but failure makes you pay attention. Success can make you believe you're right, but failure forces you to see where you went wrong. In that way, failure is more valuable than success because it tells you the truth you might not want to hear, but need to know. When a plan fails, most people take it personally. They say, I'm not good enough, or I'll never make it. But failure is rarely about who you are. It's about what you did when you did it and how you did it. Those are things you can change. If you see failure as a permanent label on yourself, you'll stop trying. But if you see it as temporary feedback, you'll keep improving until you get it right. Think about how a child learns to walk. The first steps are always wobbly. The child falls over and over again, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying. But they don't say, walking isn't for me. They stand up again, adjust, and try once more. The falls are not proof they can't walk. They are part of the process that makes them able to walk. Adults often forget the simple truth. Falling is not failing unless you decide not to get back up. Failure also strips away illusions. It shows you what is real. You might think your product is perfect until the market tells you otherwise. You might think you're a great leader until your team struggles to follow you. The disappointment is sharp, but it also clears your vision. You stop guessing and start knowing. That clarity is worth more than the comfort of believing you were already right. The people who learn the most from failure are the ones who take time to analyze it. They don't just move on and try something new without reflection. They ask, what exactly went wrong? Was it my preparation, my timing, my communication, my understanding of the problem? This is how failure turns into experience and experience turns into wisdom. Without that analysis, you risk repeating the same mistakes in a different situation. It's also important to remember that failure is not always a sign you should stop. Sometimes it's a sign you should change direction, adjust your method, or take a different route to the same goal. A failed product might lead to a better product. A failed pitch might teach you how to present more effectively. A failed business might open your eyes to a new market you hadn't considered before. The road may twist, but it can still lead you to the same destination if you keep moving. Failure teaches humility. When you succeed too often, it's easy to think you have all the answers. Failure reminds you that there is always more to learn and that other people may have ideas or skills you don't have yet. This humility can make you a better leader, a better teammate, and a better problem solver. One of the most surprising gifts of failure is that it makes you stronger for future challenges. The first time you face a big loss, it feels like the end of the world. But after you've gone through it and survived, the next challenge doesn't feel as impossible. You start to develop a kind of emotional muscle, the ability to face disappointment without losing hope. That strength is built only through repeated trials, and each failure adds another layer to it. When life gets tough, the people you choose to keep around you can either lift you higher or pull you deeper into the struggle. Energy is contagious. Spend enough time with people who are negative, always complaining, and always predicting disaster, and you will start to see the world through their dark glasses. Spend time with people who encourage you, challenge you to grow, and focus on solutions, and your own mindset will shift toward hope and action. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. Positive people don't deny reality, but they refuse to get stuck in hopelessness. They ask better questions. They look for the lesson, the silver lining, the one step forward they can take today. Being around them reminds you that no matter how bad the situation is, there is always something you can do. That reminder can make the difference between giving up and pushing through. Think about a fire on a cold night. If you sit close to it, you feel warm. If you move too far away, you start to freeze. Positive people are like that fire. When you are in their presence, your courage and optimism feel stronger. When you distance yourself, you may start to feel the chill of doubt and fear creeping in. This is why it's so important to choose your company wisely, especially in difficult times. Some people will say, but I can't just cut off my family or colleagues if they're negative, and that's true. Not everyone can be avoided, but you can choose how much influence they have over your thoughts. You can limit the amount of time you spend listening to constant complaints. You can balance those interactions by making sure you also spend time with people who inspire you, who have a vision, and who talk about possibilities instead of just problems. Positive people don't have to be endlessly cheerful or unrealistic. In fact, the best ones are often those who have been through their own storms and still choose to stand in the light. Their positivity is not shallow, it's earned. They understand pain, but they also understand resilience. Being around them teaches you that you can be honest about your struggles and still believe in a better tomorrow. The influence of your circle can even shape the way you think about yourself. If you are surrounded by people who constantly point out your flaws, you will start to believe you are defined by them. But if you are with people who notice your strengths, encourage your growth, and celebrate your progress, you will start to believe you are capable of more. That belief can change the way you act. And the way you act can change your results. Surrounding yourself with positive people is also about creating an environment where ideas can grow. Negativity kills ideas before they even have a chance to develop. Positivity gives them room to breathe and expand. When you share a new idea with someone who sees possibilities, they add to it, improve it, and help you see how it could work. When you share it with someone negative, they will list all the reasons it won't over time. That difference determines whether you keep innovating or stop trying. In tough times, you don't just need people who believe in themselves. You need people who believe in you. People who remind you of your strengths when you forget them. People who push you forward when you feel stuck. People who look at you and say, yes, it's hard, but you can do it. Having even one or two of these voices in your life can make the journey through difficulty feel less lonely and more possible. When life gets tough, most people want solutions right away. They want the pain to stop today, the problem to be fixed tomorrow, and success to arrive by the end of the week. But life doesn't work on our schedule. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Building something meaningful takes time. The challenge is not only in doing the work, it's in waiting for the results without losing faith. Impatience is like planting a seed and then digging it up every morning to see if it has grown. The more you disturb it, the less chance it has to develop strong roots. In the same way, when you keep changing direction too quickly or giving up after a few setbacks, you never give your efforts the chance to bear fruit. Patience is not just about waiting. It's about continuing to work steadily while you wait. Some people confuse patience with inaction. Patience is not sitting still and hoping for miracles. It is about consistent, persistent effort combined with the understanding that results have their own timeline. Think about training for a marathon. You cannot run 42 kilometers on your first day. You train for weeks, months, maybe years. You eat better, you strengthen your body, and you keep adding distance little by little. The race day will come, but only if you stay with the process long enough to be ready for it. Life's toughest seasons often test this exact quality. When you are working hard, but the results are invisible. When you are putting in the hours, but nothing seems to change, that is the moment patience becomes your greatest strength. Many people quit just before they would have seen progress. They think it's not working, when in reality, they were only a few steps away from the breakthrough. Patience also teaches you to value the journey itself, not just the destination. In the process of waiting and working, you develop skills, discipline, and resilience. You meet people you might never have met otherwise. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. These are benefits you wouldn't get if everything happened instantly. The waiting time shapes you into the person capable of handling the success when it finally arrives. Every great achievement you see today has a story of patience behind it. Buildings take years to design and construct. Careers take decades to build. Even nature takes its time. It takes years for a tree to grow tall enough to give shade, but only a few hours for a storm to knock it down. This is why lasting success must be built slowly and steadily. Anything that comes too quickly can disappear just as fast. Being patient with the process also means understanding that progress is not always in a straight line. Some days you will move forward, some days you will feel stuck, and some days you might even step backward. That's normal. What matters is that the overall direction is forward. Patience gives you the strength to keep going, even when the pace feels slow. It's easy to admire people who are already successful, but what we don't often see are the long, quiet years they spent working in the background before the world noticed them. They didn't get there by rushing. They got there by staying committed to the process, even when it felt endless. They trusted that time, effort, and persistence would eventually meet at the right moment. And they kept moving until that moment arrived. When life gets tough, the natural instinct is to focus only on yourself, your problems, your pain, your struggles. You feel like you don't have the energy to deal with anything beyond your own situation. But one of the most powerful ways to stay positive in hard times is to turn your attention outward and help someone else who is also struggling. Helping others doesn't mean you have to be rich, powerful, or free from your own challenges. Sometimes it's a small act, giving someone advice from your own experience, offering encouragement when they feel like quitting, or simply listening without judgment. These acts may feel small to you, but to the other person, they can be a lifeline. And while you're helping them, you often find that your own perspective changes. Your problems may still be there, but they no longer feel as heavy. There's a hidden truth about helping others. It reminds you that you still have something to give. Hard times can make you feel powerless, as if you have nothing left. But when you lend a hand, even in a small way, you realize you still have strength, skills, and value. That realization itself can be a powerful source of hope. Think about the times you've been helped. Maybe someone opened a door for you when you thought all doors were closed. Maybe they gave you advice that changed your thinking. Maybe they stood beside you when you felt alone. Those moments stay with you forever. You remember not just what they did, but how it made you feel. When you help someone else, you are giving them that same lasting gift. Helping others also shifts your focus. When all your attention is on your own challenges, it's easy to feel trapped. But when you focus on solving someone else's problem, even briefly, you step outside your own mental cage. You see the world from another angle. And that often sparks ideas for your own situation. Sometimes the solution to your problem appears while you're busy solving someone else's. In business and in life, the people who build strong relationships are often those who show up for others in difficult times. Anyone can be a friend when things are going well. True value is proven when you are there for someone without expecting anything in return, even when your own life is not perfect. This builds trust and goodwill that often comes back to you in unexpected ways. Helping others can also create a ripple effect. One act of kindness can inspire the person you help to do the same for someone else. That person helps another, and slowly a network of support grows. Even if you never see the full impact of what you started, you have contributed to making the world just a little better during a time when it might have felt impossible. And sometimes helping others gives you a deeper sense of purpose. When life is hard, it's easy to wonder, why should I keep going? But when someone is depending on you, when you know your actions can make a difference in their life, you find a reason to keep moving. That reason can carry you through moments when motivation alone is not enough. When life gets tough, it's easy to become serious, tense, and even angry at the world. The pressure can feel so heavy that you start forgetting to smile. But one of the greatest tools you can have in hard times is a sense of humor. Humor doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending your problems don't exist. It means choosing to lighten the emotional weight so you can carry it more easily. Laughter has a strange power. It changes your mood instantly. It's like a small spark that cuts through the darkness, even if only for a moment. That moment is important because when you laugh, you give your mind and body a short break from stress. Your shoulders loosen, your thoughts slow down, you breathe a little deeper, and that little pause can be enough to help you keep going. When you learn to laugh at life's difficulties, you take away some of their power over you. If you can see the funny side of a bad situation, you're already starting to rise above it. For example, think about moments when things went completely wrong. Maybe you were late to an important meeting because your shoe broke, or you prepared a big presentation and the projector stopped working. In the moment, it feels terrible. But later, when you tell the story to your friends and everyone laughs, you realize it's not the end of the world. Humor can also help you connect with people during hard times. No one likes to be around constant negativity. But when you manage to crack a joke, even when you're under pressure, it makes people more comfortable around you. They feel lighter, and in turn, they often support you more. Sometimes the people you make laugh are the ones who will be there to help you through the storm. Keeping a sense of humor also keeps your ego in check. When you can laugh at yourself, you become less sensitive to failure and criticism. You stop taking everything so personally. You start to understand that mistakes are part of the process, and sometimes they're even a little ridiculous. The ability to say, yes, I messed up, but at least it's a good story, can turn an embarrassing moment into a lesson you can share with others. Humor works like a reset button for your perspective. When something bad happens, you can look at it in two ways: as a disaster or as a strange twist in the story of your life. The second choice doesn't erase the difficulty, but it makes it more manageable. It's like looking at a storm cloud and noticing the unusual shapes instead of just worrying about the rain. Even in leadership and business, humor is a powerful tool. A leader who can laugh during a crisis shows the team that they can handle pressure without breaking. This calms people down, helps them think clearly, and keeps morale high. People follow leaders who bring hope, and humor is one of the fastest ways to give people hope. Humor also keeps your creativity alive. A mind that is too serious can become rigid, only seeing problems and no solutions. But when you bring lightness to a situation, your brain starts exploring new ideas. Some of the most creative solutions come from people who are able to step back and say, this is bad, but what if we tried something crazy? That kind of thinking doesn't happen in an atmosphere of fear and tension. In a world where everything moves so fast, it's easy to get caught up in the need for instant results. People want quick success, immediate rewards, and overnight growth, but true achievement doesn't work that way. Every great success story is built on a clear vision that stretches far beyond today's circumstances. Having a long-term vision means looking past the short-term noise and focusing on the bigger picture, even when the road is unclear. A long-term vision acts like a compass. It guides your decisions, keeps you on track, and reminds you of where you're going when distractions try to pull you away. Without it, you can easily drift, chasing temporary wins that feel good in the moment, but take you further from your real goal. This is why so many people start something with excitement, but give up when results don't come quickly. They don't see the deeper journey ahead. When you have a long-term vision, you make different choices. You stop worrying so much about today's failures because you know they are just steps toward tomorrow's success. You become more patient because you understand that anything worthwhile takes time to grow. You can accept slow progress because you're not racing for a finish line. You're building something that will last. A long-term vision also forces you to think beyond yourself. You start to consider the legacy you want to leave, the impact you want to have, and the people you want to help. This creates a sense of responsibility that pushes you to stay disciplined, even when things get tough. It's no longer just about your comfort or profit today. It's about creating something that can stand strong years from now. Many people overestimate what they can do in a short time and underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. The real magic happens when you combine small, consistent actions with a clear vision over many years. Every day you plant seeds, even if you don't see immediate results. Over time, those seeds grow into something far bigger than you imagine. Long-term vision also protects you from short-term panic. In life and business, there will be setbacks, failures, and moments when everything seems to go wrong, but if your eyes are fixed on the horizon, you won't be shaken so easily. You will see those problems as temporary bumps, not as the end of the journey. This mindset gives you stability and confidence when others are giving up. A clear vision also attracts the right people. When others see that you know where you're going and that you're committed for the long haul, they're more likely to join you. Talented people want to be part of something meaningful, not just something that's chasing the latest trend. Investors, partners, and supporters trust leaders who can see years ahead, not just days ahead. Long-term thinking also forces you to keep learning. If you want to achieve something great over many years, you must adapt as the world changes. A vision isn't about locking yourself into one unchangeable plan. It's about staying true to your destination while being flexible in your approach. Markets change, technology changes, people change, but your commitment to the destination stays strong. When you have a long-term vision, you stop asking, how fast can I get there, and start asking, how well can I build it so it lasts? You understand that some of the most important work you will do in your life won't pay off for years, but when it does, it will be worth more than any quick reward you could have taken along the way. Life will constantly test you, throwing challenges in your path that make you question yourself. There will be moments when everything seems impossible, when the world tells you you're not good enough, and when failure feels like it's crushing you. In these moments, the most important thing you can do is trust in your own inner strength. That quiet, powerful force inside you is often stronger than you think. It's the same strength that has carried you through past difficulties, even when you thought you couldn't go on. Believing in your inner strength starts with shifting your mindset. Instead of focusing on your limitations, focus on your possibilities. Instead of saying, I can't, start asking, how can I? This change in perspective unlocks solutions you didn't see before. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lose belief in themselves too soon. The truth is, you already have the courage, resilience, and creativity you need. You just have to trust that it's there. Inner strength isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's about feeling those emotions and moving forward anyway. Even the most successful people in the world have moments of insecurity, but they don't let those moments define them. They push through because they trust their ability to figure things out as they go. That's the essence of believing in your inner strength, knowing that even if you don't have all the answers right now, you have the capacity to find them. Life will not always give you perfect conditions. Sometimes you have to act before you feel ready. You will need to take risks, face uncertainty, and step out of your comfort zone. This is when your inner strength becomes your greatest ally. It tells you that you can handle more than you think, that you can learn from every step, and that you can turn setbacks into stepping stones. Without this belief, every obstacle will feel like a wall. With it, every obstacle becomes a doorway. Believing in your inner strength also means trusting your values and staying true to yourself, even when others try to pull you in a different direction. There will be times when people doubt you, criticize you, or underestimate you. If you rely solely on their approval, you'll be crushed by every negative opinion. But if you rely on your own inner strength, you'll keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that your worth isn't defined by anyone else's judgment. Your inner strength grows every time you face difficulties. Think back to the hardest times in your life, the moments when you thought you couldn't survive but did. Those experiences didn't just pass, they shaped you, giving you wisdom, endurance, and perspective. This is why believing in your inner strength is so important. You realize that you've already overcome so much and you can overcome even more. It's also about consistency. Inner strength is built like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you choose to keep going instead of giving up, you're reinforcing the belief that you are capable. Every time you choose courage over fear, you're training yourself to handle bigger challenges in the future. When you believe in your inner strength, you stop waiting for perfect circumstances or for someone else to rescue you. You take ownership of your life and trust yourself to handle whatever comes next. This doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. It means that even when you get help, you remain the one steering your own ship. Confident in your ability to navigate through storms. In conclusion, staying positive when life gets tough is not about ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about choosing how you respond to them. Tough times will come for everyone, but they don't have to break you. They can shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you for something greater. Positivity is a mindset you train daily by focusing on what you can control, learning from setbacks, and keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. When life feels overwhelming, remember that storms eventually pass. Every difficulty carries a lesson, and every obstacle has the potential to push you toward growth. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, practice gratitude for what you still have, and keep faith in your own ability to adapt and overcome. Jack Ma teaches that failure, rejection, and hardship are not the end. They are stepping stones towards success. By maintaining hope and resilience, you not only survive the tough moments, but also come out of them stronger, wiser, and more determined. The power to stay positive lies in your choice, to see beyond the pain, to keep moving forward, and to trust that your future can still be brighter than your present. Staying positive when life gets tough is not about ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about choosing how you respond to them. Tough times will come for everyone, but they don't have to break you. They can shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you for something greater. Positivity is a mindset you train daily by focusing on what you can control, learning from setbacks, and keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. When life feels overwhelming, remember that storms eventually pass. Every difficulty carries a lesson, and every obstacle has the potential to push you toward growth. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, practice gratitude for what you still have, and keep faith in your own ability to adapt and overcome. Jack Ma teaches that failure, rejection, and hardship are not the end. They are stepping stones towards success. By maintaining hope and resilience, you not only survive the tough moments, but also come out of them stronger, wiser, and more determined. The power to stay positive lies in your choice, to see beyond the pain, to keep moving forward, and to trust that your future can still be brighter than your present. So when the next storm comes, don't just weather it, dance in it, grow through it, and let it lead you to your rainbow.